of them mentions a similarity in voice to Whitney Houston. Does that drive you crazy?
No, I mean, when someone's new, they need to compare you to someone so they know how to categorize
Frame
you.
of reference.
Right, because no one knows who I am. So, I mean, it would be really arrogant of me to assume that they weren't going to compare me to someone, you know what I mean? So she's a, you know, very gifted vocalist, but hopefully as people come to know my singing and my songwriting, I'll be known for who I am and the music that I...
But Mariah Carey says she's no Whitney wannabe.
Mariah is Mariah, and that's what she should be known for her work, and not for being compared or sounding like me. You know, I don't really hear it, you know. There are a few inflections, you know. Inflections mean, you know, oh, yeah, you know, that's in, you know, that's runs and inflections. So she does a little bit of that. I think she and I probably have the same tones, you know, in some areas, but I don't think that she sounds like me, nor do I sound like her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of comparisons between you and Whitney Houston. Does that bother you, that people sort of say, oh, you know, you're very similar? Does that worry you at all?
When you're new, you have to be compared to someone,
Sure.
you know. So, I mean, there are a lot worse people I could be compared to, and she's a superstar and a great vocalist. So,
because you want to be successful in your own right as well.
As a songwriter and a singer, which is, you know, I've co-written all the songs on my debut album, and hopefully people will respect me for my work and who I am.
Had Mariah Carey here in the studio.
You did? How was she doing?
Well, she was doing great.
Oh, great.
Yes.
It's great.
What I'm curious about, what do you think of her?
What do I think of her?
Yes?
I don't think of her. I don't think of her. Musically, what do I think of her?
Yes.
I think she's a good singer.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Embarrassing. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think the comparison's getting a little tired lately, actually. As I've said, she's a great singer, you know, a really great talent, and no one can take that away, and no one can touch who she is, and I don't attempt to, and I don't aspire to be the next Whitney Houston. All I can be is Mariah Carey, the best Mariah Carey that I can be, the best songwriter that I can be, and the best singer that I can be. And that's who I am, and that's what I am, and hopefully as my music gets exposed to more people, people won't have to make any comparisons. They'll know me as me.
And with those golden pipes, Mariah was often compared to Whitney Houston.
I think that when someone's up and coming, they like to compare you with someone that's already established so that they know, you know, well, how to categorize you, you know, because they've never seen you or heard of you before. But hopefully soon they won't have to compare me to other people, and they'll just know me as a songwriter and a singer.
Has thought that this was a big rivalry between the two of you. You certainly have put that to rest.
Yeah,
I think we have. Well, there's always drama. People always, you know. Dramaticking.
Don't you think it so annoys me because they only say that about women. They never say
about
Ted
men.
Koppel and Dan Rather are feuding.
You know
They never.
saying? No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Just the ladies, you know.
Yeah, sexist, but what are you going to do? It's pretty standard.
Were you a little intimidated, though? I mean, when you walked in the room with The Voice?
I didn't know what to do because, you know, who knew that we would get along? I mean, people didn't know. You never know when you meet somebody who you're going to click with.
But it was like magic. We clicked, we talked, we laughed like old girlfriends.
Really?
Yeah, really.